That crowd on Monday night seemed like it helped you guys throughout the game. I mean, how big can home field advantage be moving forward?
Yeah, just moving forward. I mean, that was an unbelievable atmosphere. Had so many people comment on just how cool it was to be at that game. The impact that they had toward, especially the end, they had the delay. They had, obviously they had to take the back-to-back timeout situation. You could feel it. I mean, it was a really cool atmosphere. The place was going mental. We need that as much as humanly possible moving forward, as much as we can get the fan base and community to continue to show up similar to that. That would be a fantastic home field advantage for us moving forward.
What's the challenge going to be just to replace Britton Strange now that he's on IR?
Yeah, I think Hunter Long has stepped up in a major way. Thought Johnny Munt, did a couple good things the other night as well. And then Quint Morris has played better and better for us on special teams, and I do think that when his number's called in games, he won't flinch either. He was in on the third down in, I think, 2 down at the low red zone, got in on a play that he had not repped all week and goes in and executes it on the speed option. But I have confidence in that room to be able to continue to ascend and help us out, in the pass game and in the run game, both those guys.
I was going to ask you, just to follow up, in terms of the run game, how much of a challenge is that, just not having Britton there?
Yeah, the physical presence for sure, the way that he plays, the violence, just he can pry some stuff open on his own just by playing the way he plays. And but, that's on us as coaches. We have to get creative and continue to try to put those other tight ends in matchups that are favorable, and even if they are put in a tough position, having to block maybe a big or a defensive end, that I do trust those guys that they can get some of that stuff done.
It's a big win, strong start to the year. Do you worry about how this team will handle the success?
No, I mean, I think, I don't want to say we're the most pissed off 4-1 team, but like there's definitely some feelings in the building over the last few days of knowing that we have not still put out 60 minutes of our best football. I think specifically on the defensive side, there was some frustrations in some of the things that we gave up, and specifically in the run game, that we didn't probably have our best efforts in stopping the run, something that we had been doing at a pretty good level there. And and then same thing offensively, right? We punted twice, but we had the fumble at the end, at the goal line there, and then the turnover that we got to continue to try to take care of the football at a higher click. And I think they just know that there was some meat left on the bone even after a really cool win.
What makes Seattle's run defense so good?
Man, I was just talking to Tony and James about that earlier. It's like especially in the first half of games, like those guys come out and nobody's running the ball on those guys, really. Their front is so deep. They've got 8 guys up front that have played high-level football in the NFL and have all been impactful starters at some point in the National Football League at one point. So they're very active. They move a lot up front. They stunt them. They move them. They'll pressure. Their movements are very well coordinated up front. And they have good players. They have good players that have created havoc. They have definitely played on the offense's side of the line of scrimmage often this year. They don't stay blocked long on double teams. So huge challenge for us, both schematically and, personnel-wise, for us to have to go, move the ball and run the football effectively. We're going to need to.
You talked before about how you're really emotional and Trevor kind of helps balance that out. Do you think the rest of the team has sort of kind of adopted your personality or gotten close?
I hope not. No. I think that it was weird because when I got here and had a lot of conversations with the guys individually, there was a little bit of a chip on the shoulder and a little bit of a frustrated but eager mentality. And so I think that was pretty innate with some of the guys, where that's kind of been my approach in general and the way I coach. So that just naturally, I think, connected maybe with some of the guys, or I connected to them because I felt that from them as well. And so, I was probably my most calm the other night in ways, and it was cool to see then Trevor, like, take over some of that, and you saw some of the swagger that he had after he made the throw to BT and Diami, and just, you know, you just saw some confidence and grit and toughness that you want your teams to display, not because it's about my personality or me. It's more because I think that helps have an edge, and ultimately would like our team to have an edge.
Were you like that as a quarterback too, or did that kind of evolve?
Yeah, I had a couple personal fouls as a player, as a quarterback. Yeah, so I probably was in a lot of ways. I mean, I wasn't really a trash talker necessarily, but I think I was pretty limited athletically, and so had to use the mind as a weapon as well, and to try to get yourself in competitive mode to play, and come from a small state where football is not really that important in ways, or it wasn't at the time maybe in terms of recruitment and exposure. And you go play FCS 1AA football, and you feel like you're better than that, and go and try to win as many games as humanly possible while probably feeling like you were maybe a little under-recruited. Maybe that's where that comes from. But no, I had a great experience, man. I had a great experience.
Trevor ran or scrambled 10 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he, unless I'm missing one, I don't think he slid once. If you had a conversation about that, he said given his history, he doesn't want to slide. He's got knocked into,
I know.
you know.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it downstairs after the game. We did, like in the lobby. We were talking about it, and I said, dude, you know, I just want you to protect yourself. As whatever that is for you, I can't truly tell you what that looks like because I haven't been in your shoes at this level. And so, you know, we talked. I was just like, dude, it does frustrate as well. It'll frustrate the defense more when you do run, and now they don't even get to touch. You know, now they don't hit you when you slide. Yeah, so it can frustrate and irritate the opposing team, the opposing defense, when you're able to get out, still remain a passer, but then you do take off, and now they can't touch you, and it's like that can become frustrating for them. So that's the little game within the game that we were talking about. But he didn't really have much of an answer. You know, it was just like, hey, that's kind of how I'm running, and I respect and appreciate it. So, but we do need to keep him healthy.
Yeah, I think he's putting himself in more harm's way by going.
You know,
Shoulders and head first.
maybe so. I guess I can kind of sympathize based on what did occur last year, and I can't say that he has never mentioned that play. So that's the cool part about it, is that he doesn't even talk about that as being something that's in his head or that he thinks about. I mean, the guy was running like a crazy man out there. So, you know, I think he's just being a football player trying to go play and compete.
As a quarterback, just how much do you appreciate Sam Darnold's journey, and what does it kind of say just about that position and how surroundings can kind of impact?
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Sam. You know, I don't know him personally, but obviously through Grant and Kevin, and then obviously Sean Surratt being here, having stories, and watching him throw the football. He's very talented. There's a reason why he was a top 5 pick. I remember all the comebacks that he had at SC, and to see guys, so much of playing this position, I think, in this league is timing and circumstance. And there's so many talented guys that people end up saying can't do it, or it doesn't work in that timing and that circumstance. And now look what has happened to him in his career. Baker and him are on the same team and couldn't quite play on that team. So it's just time. So much of it is not giving up on these guys, and knowing that as time goes and they accumulate more reps, not just in games, but in practice, calling plays, guys coming from spread systems, no huddle, shotgun, like that whole operation is new. It's different. It's a different mode of operation for those guys. So really cool to see guys like Sam, you know, continuing to get better as they go throughout their career.
Knowing the wide receiver targets that will be coming here from Seattle this weekend, how would you evaluate coverage, usage opposite Tyson, and how Tyson's been used so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Njigba, Cooper, those guys, and got a lot of respect for them as well. Sam can put it in tight spots. Njigba's got great body control and hands at the point of contact. I think he's faster than maybe people give him credit for. And Cooper's still, the guy that can go and compete with the best of them. He's going to block his tail off. He's still getting open. He's a great person in that room to have, I think, for probably Jackson, Smith, and Jigba as well. And they're not afraid to push the ball down the field. They're pushing the ball on the play actions. They're able to get it down there. So we definitely have to be better than we were the other night in terms of we had some communication errors in the back end. We did have a few, one-on-one opportunity, type plays that we didn't end up coming down with. But I do have a lot of confidence in those guys back there. What that looks like from a rotational standpoint, I think we'll know a little bit more in the next day or two. I thought Travis makes a good play on Kelsey on the third down. Monteric makes a huge deflection on a big-time play. Jarian Jones gets in at the end of the game, makes a tackle at the end of so all those guys, I think, are going to continue to play and get reps and opportunities. And what that looks like from a rep count standpoint, I think we'll know a little bit more throughout this week.
You used Van Laden as that jumbo lineman one time a couple weeks ago, and Schumer the other night. What do you like about having that extra big body?
Well, especially with Brenton, now being out a little bit, it's like just you're always trying to look for opportunities to take something off the tight ends, right? Like they have so much on their plate from the pass game and the run game, and when you're trying to get them matched up, specifically maybe in pass protection or in the run game, you're trying not to match them up with a defensive end all the time, right? And I think that's probably where the jumbo can come in and help you just take a couple of those downs, hard downs off of a tight end, to where that matchup is a little bit more favorable for us in ways. So I think that's something that we'll continue to build off of, and it's great to know that those guys can go in and handle it mentally, because they're not being tagged as an offensive lineman, and they have to know the why formationally, and now we try to keep it pretty simple so it's not multiple per game plan, but I do think that we can use it more and more as we go.
I just want to give you a chance to clear the air with this Eli Dion thing that you're wrapped up in. Is there,
I have no idea what that is. I'm really... The only thing said was just that he practiced a little bit more on defense than offense, so not really too sure where that's going.
Hey, follow up on Comp. You came into the league, you're in the same room with him for 2 years. How much do you help expand your views of offense?
Man, he's Cooper. I almost named my son Cooper, so in a lot of that's how much respect I have for him. He has sent me texts throughout my career, whether I was with the Rams, at Kentucky, or here, or in Tampa, or here, randomly, all the, at different points of just thinking about you, hope you're doing great, proud of you. Definitely more than just a player-coach relationship. I learned so much more from him than, and like guys like Matthew, I learned so much more from them than I think I probably ever could have given them as a coach. His understanding of all 11 on the field, his understanding of the run scheme, blocking assignments in the run game, his understanding of the quarterback's timing and rhythm, progressions, reads, coverage. I mean, he's the smartest football player, him and Matthew, that I've ever really truly worked with for an extended period of time, right? I've obviously worked with a lot of really good pros, but can't say enough good things about Cooper. And the type of man that he is.
Coach, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.